last. I hear your name inside the quiet. I drive through the city with the night on my side. Coffee getting colder, but you stay on my mind. I do not need the reason, I just need the sound of your voice in the dark. When the world slows down, stay with me in the low light. We do not have to say too much. Just breathe with me till sunrise. I still remember your touch. Every little silence feels like something true. Every slow song playing brings me back to you. Stay with me in the low light. We do not have to say too much. Just breathe with me till sunrise. I still remember your touch. Room lights low, rain on the glass. I let the night carry us back. Room lights low, rain on the glass. I let the night carry us back.
Coffee stain, morning light, your memory stays soft and quiet. I sit by the window, watch the city wake. Every little silence feels like your name. I am not in a hurry, I let the feeling move. Slow like the music, still leading me to you. Coffee and you, that is all I need. A little warmth and a little peace. Coffee and you, inside my mind. You make the morning feel alright. The world keeps turning, but I stay right here with a slow song playing and your voice so near. Coffee and you, that is all I need. A little warmth and a little peace. Coffee and you, inside my mind. You make the morning feel alright. Coffee stain, soft sunlight. I keep your love in the quiet.
Streetlights passing slow on the road. Midnight breathing, where do we go? I keep both hands steady, but my heart still drifts. Every mile behind me feels like something I missed. The city looks softer when the world gets low, and every song playing knows where I go. Night drive slow, take me somewhere slow, where the memories fade and the warm winds blow. Night drive slow, I do not need control, just a little love and an open road. Your name in the silence, your face in the light. I keep moving forward through the velvet night. Night drive slow, take me somewhere slow, where the memories fade and the warm winds blow. Night drive slow, I do not need control, just a little love and an open road. Streetlights passing soft and cold. I let the night carry my soul. Tracing the outline of my thumb against the glass, watching the screen stay dark, stay cold. The charging cable is a snake in the sheets, and I'm rehearsing things I'll never breathe out loud.
Checking if my signal is still reaching for yours.
The air in here is thick enough to touch.
Every hour is a mountain I can't climb.
Just a thumb flap away from a mistake. Just a heartbeat away from your name. I'm talking to the space where you should be. A ghost starts spinning in the back of my throat. I can almost hear your duvet rustle. I can almost feel your breath catch on the other end. But the dial tone is a wall I built myself, keeping the hunger under my tongue. The wallpaper is peeling in the shadows. Your hunger is on silent, or if you're staring at the same blue glow,
waiting for a ghost to make a move.
I've got 1,000 sentences held hostage behind teeth that are tired of biting back.
Maybe it's better this way.
The fiction is safer than the truth.
If I don't call,
yeah, haven't said no.
If I don't call,
We're still suspended in the gravity of what might happen if the connection actually. I'm talking to the space where you should be. A ghost out spinning in the back of my throat. I can almost hear your duvet rustle. I can almost feel your breath catch on the other end. But the dial tone is a wall I built myself, keeping the hunger under my tongue. 4% battery. The sun is a threat on the horizon. I'm setting the device on the floor, so I don't have to see the nothing that we become.
sleep well.
Wherever you want. Yeah. The heavy latch clicks shut against the world. The frantic pace is finally unfurled. Golden pools of amber on the floor. I leave the Russian clockwork at the door. The shadows stretch their velvet arms to rest. A calm settles deep within my chest. Indigo is bleeding through the white, softening the edges of the light. The hum of gravity begins to fade in this sanctuary that we made. Slow motion in a painted room, silk and cedar, soft perfume. The owls lose their shape and drift away. A quiet grace to end the day, wrapped in the honey glow of gold. A private warmth for us to hold. Ice chimes against the glass, a silver sound, while silence settles softly on the ground. No need for heavy words or grand designs, just tracing patterns in the crooked lines. The air is thick with ease and sweet repose, as every restless feeling comes to close. Indigo is bleeding through the waves, softening the edges of the light. The hum of gravity begins to fade in the sanctuary that we made. Slow motion in a painted room, silk and cedar, soft perfume. The hours lose their shape and drift away. A quiet grace to end a day, wrapped in the honey glow of gold. A private warmth for us to hold. Let the spinning planet tilt and turn. A single beat of water, gravity bound, tracing a map on the pane. The world is a blur of charcoal and blue, softly dissolving in rain. No footsteps marking the sidewalk below, just the sky leaning into the glass. The clock on the wall has forgotten its beat, watching the slow minutes pass. Radiator sighs in the corner of the room, a low and steady refrain, while the kitchen light casts a pale yellow pool to wash out the shadows of pain. There is no one to answer, no need to explain why the kettle is cold on the stove. Just the weight of the silence, heavy and sweet, in this sanctuary I wove. In the velvet of the evening, when the grid begins to fade, I am sheltered in the stillness of the choices I have made. Let the deluge wash the history from the corners of the park. There is comfort in the vacuum, there is mercy in the dark. The skyline is jagged and hidden in mist, a fortress of concrete and steel. But here in the dimness, the edges are soft and nothing is jagged or real. I don't feel the hunger for motion or noise, or the pressure of being observed. Just a calm desperation, finally stilled in a peace that is purely deserved. Tapping on the ledge, yeah, a rhythmic hollow sound, yeah. The high rises are drowning, yeah, while I am safely aground, yeah. No invitations candy, yeah. No voices in the hall, yeah. Just the liquid curtains closing, yeah, on the vastness of it all. In the velvet of evening, when the wind begins to fade, I am sheltered in the stillness of the choices I have made. Let the deluge wash the history from the corners of the park. There is comfort in the vacuum, there is mercy in the dark. Slide down the glass, slide down the glass. Let the gravity take hold, gravity take hold. The night is a secret, secret that doesn't need to be told, doesn't need to be told. Rest your head against the cold, it's your head against the cold. Listen to the rain, listen to the rain. Solitude is breathing, solitude is breathing softly on the pain.
The ceiling fan spins a slow rotation, shadows stretching long across the floor. I don't need a gram manifestation to know exactly what we're waiting for. Your breathing is the only clock I'm keeping, the steady rise and fall against my chest. While the rest of this frantic world is sleeping, I'm finding where my heavy heart can rest. No need to wake the neighbors with the feeling. No need to pull the sirens through the air. The strongest kind of grace is barely stealing. A glance to let me know you're always there. This is love in low volume. Turn down so we can finally hear it all. Between the lines, inside the silver gloom, a frequency that's meant to stay the small. It's the quiet that sustains us, the gravity that holds us in the deep. Love in low volume, a promise that we're meant to keep. Coffee steam rising in the morning, before the sun has even hit the glass. No bells or whistles giving us a warning, just watching all the minutes gently pass. You don't have to swear it to the sky, but carve our names into a piece of stone. I see the truth reflected in your eye, a language that is ours and ours alone. Don't need to wake the neighbors with a feeling. No need to pull the sirens through the air. The strongest kind of grace is barely stealing. A glance to let me know you're always there. This is love in low volume. Turn down so we can finally hear it all. Between the lines, inside the silver gloom, a frequency that's meant to stay this small. It's the quiet that sustains us, the gravity that holds us in the deep. Love in low volume, a promise that we're meant to keep. If the signal ever flickers, if the world gets far too loud, we can retreat where the light is thick, far beneath the thunder of the crowd. In the hush, in the hope, in the story left untold. This is love in low volume. Turn down so we can finally hear it all. Between the lines, inside the silver gloom, a frequency that's meant to stay the small. It's the quiet that sustains us, the gravity that holds us in the deep. Love in low volume, a promise that we're meant to keep. Keep it down, keep it close, keep it close. Just the thing I need, come low volume, soft focus, only we would ever notice. Midnight air, you are there. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
The heavy door clicks shut behind me. Heavy curtains pull across the grass, tracing circles on the wooden table, watching every second slowly pass. I leave the keys upon the counter, the jacket hanging by the frame. The air is cooling in the hallway, nothing here feels quite the same. The shadows stretch along the ceiling, the corners soften in the dark, moving through the velvet quiet, waiting for the tiny spark. Now the world is just a memory, left outside the garden gate, underneath the linen covers. Everything can finally wait. Only melodies are breathing, falling like a gentle rain. In this house of silk and silence, I am home again. A single lamp across the carpet, spilling gold upon the floor. I don't need the grim vibration of the life beyond the door. The dial is turning to the low end, the frequency is smooth and deep, wrapping around the tired senses, losing track of time to keep. The Shadows stretch along the ceiling, the corners soften in the dark. Moving through the velvet quiet, waiting for the tiny spark. Now the world is just a memory, left outside the garden gate. Underneath the linen covers, everything can finally wait. Only melodies are breathing, falling like a can of rain. In this house of silk and silence, I am home again. No more faces to remember, no more voices on the breeze. Just a low and steady pulse, bringing me down to my knees. It's a different kind of gravity, tugging at my heavy eyes. Safe within the four-wall harbor, underneath the indoor sky. Now the world has jumped a memory, left outside the garden gate. Underneath the linen covers, every freak can finally wait. Only melodies are breathing, falling like a gentle rain. In this house of silk and silence, I am home again. I am home again. Don't take on the tide, turning off the light, everything is right. Deep into the blue, coming back to you. Is a different kind of blue, the kind that doesn't ask for much from you. The television glow has finally died away, leaving me with nothing left to say. No tires biting on the cold asphalt, the motion of the world has come to a halt. I'm sinking deeper into my favorite chair, finding a secret in the heavy air. The clock is ticking, but it's losing time. There isn't any ladder left to climb. The pressure of the daylight is a ghost. I'm loving this version of myself the most. Oh, the silence is a velvet room, a garden where the quiet flowers bloom. No voices pulling at my sleeve tonight, just the steady comfort of the dimming light. I'm finally breathing without a sound. Feet are steady on this holy ground. Sweet solitude, my only guest. In the deep hours I am truly blessed. The kitchen tap has stopped this rhythmic drip. I take the morning in a slow deliberate sip. No expectations waiting at the door. I don't need to be anyone anymore. The neighbors are a dream behind their wall. Nothing answers when the worry calls. My shadow is the only thing that moves, sliding into these familiar grooves. Oh, the silence is a velvet room, a garden where the quiet flowers bloom. No voices pulling at my sleeve tonight, guess the steady comfort of the dimming light. I'm finally breathing without a sound. Feet are steady say the world belongs to those who wait, but I prefer the world that I don't have to take. The clarity of being all alone on a temporary midnight roam before the sun begins its heavy chore. I found exactly what I'm looking for. Oh, the silence is a velvet room, a garden where the quiet flowers bloom. No voices pulling at my sleep tonight, just a steady comfort of the dimming light. I'm finally breathing without a sound. Feet are steady on this holy ground. Sweet solitude, my only guest in the deep hours. I am truly blessed. Softly now the world is still, resting on the windowsill. Just me and the cooling tea. Exactly where I need to be. Yeah, exactly where I need to be. The peace is all for me. Just me. The coffee cup is getting cold. Your hand is resting near my own. No stories need to be retold. The deepest truths are better known. Without a sound to fill the room, just the way the shadows lean against the afternoon. We are a language of our own, a steady pulse, a silver thread found in the spaces left alone. Beyond the things we could have said, it is enough to simply be your shoulder close to mine, in the grace of what we see within this quiet light. The clock is ticking on the shelf, a tiny anger in the air. I find a version of myself that only breathes because you're there. No need to explain the way or justify the heavy day. We let the gravity obey and watch the friction fade away. We are a language of our own, a steady pulse, a silver thread found in the spaces left alone. Beyond the things we could have said, it is enough to simply be your shoulder close to mine, in the grace of what we see within this quiet line. Words are only scaffolding to reach a place that's deep. We have found a center thing that we don't have to keep or catch a hold or justify. It settles like the dust beneath the vast and open sky, in a state of perfect trust. We are a language of our own, a steady pulse, a silver thread found in the spaces left alone. Beyond on the things we could have said is enough to simply be your shoulder close to mine, in the grace of what we see within this quiet line. Just here, just this, the weight of your palm in the stillness, nothing left to prove, in the way we don't move. The blanket is a heavy sea, pulling us down to the floor. I don't need the lock and key, I don't need to see the door. Your skin is like a map I know, tracing every curve and line, watching how the embers glow, watching how our arms entwine. Don't say a word, don't say a word, just let the weight of the air do the talking, do the talking. Safe in the curve, safe in the curve of a minute that refuses to leave. Close enough to feel your pulse, close enough to feel your pulse, deep enough to lose my name, deep enough to lose my name. Steady as a resting heart, oh, burning like a quiet flame. Count the shadows on the wall, moving with the way you move. Let the whole foundation fall. We have nothing left to prove. The clock is ticking on the shelf, but it's sounding far away. I'm a ghost of my former self, content to let the morning stay. Don't say a word, don't say a word, just let the weight of the air do the talking, do the talking. Safe in the curve, safe in the curve of a minute that refuses to leave. Close enough to feel your pulse, close enough to feel your pulse, deep enough to lose my name, deep enough to lose my name. Steady as a resting heart, oh, burning like a quiet flame. The space between a breath and a breath, oh, is where I want to reside. Oh, in this small and sacred day, oh, with nowhere left to hide. Just your chest against my spine, just the gravity of grace. Everything is perfectly aligned in the silence of this place. Don't say a word, don't say a word, just let the weight of the air do the talking, do the talking. Safe in the curve, safe in the curve of a minute that refuses to leave. Close enough to feel your pulse, close enough to feel your pulse, deep enough to lose my name, deep enough to lose my name. Steady as a resting heart, burning like a quiet flame. Softly now, just hold on until the dark is gone. Rest your head safe and sound on this holy ground. Just stay, just stay, just stay, just stay. coffee is cold upon the wooden table. The curtains sway against the afternoon. I'm tracing out lines, trying to be able to hold the shape of things that left too soon. A silhouette is dancing on the plaster, a trick of light across the hallway floor. The clock is ticking just a little faster than every time you walked out through the door. There's a weight in the quiet, a heavy kind of grace. In the corners of the closet where I still can't see your face. Oh, the lingering shadows never fade. They're just the patterns that the sunlight made of every golden hour we used to keep before the winter climbed the mountain steep. It's a hollow kind of funny, thick and slow, watching all the ghosts of long ago in this bittersweet reflection of a love that's lost direction. I found a ticket in a jacket pocket, a faded blue from a play we didn't like. I keep a memory locked inside a locket along the gravel path we used to bike. The grain of film is scratching at my vision. The colors bleed until they're almost gray. I'm living in a state of soft division between the coming night and yesterday. There's a pull in the silence that I don't want to break. It's the only part of you that I'm allowed to take. Oh, the lingering shadows never fade. They're just the patterns that the sunlight made of every golden hour we used to keep before the winter climbed the mountain steep. It's a hollow kind of honey, thick and slow, watching all the ghosts of long ago in this bittersweet reflection of a love that's lost direction. They say that time is like a river, but I'm standing on the shore, watching ripples start to shiver where the water hit the floor. It's not the pain that keeps me hollow, it's the beauty of the spark that I'm desperate to follow through the corners of the dark. Just the patterns that the sunlight made of every golden hour we used to keep before the winter climbed the mountain steep. It's a hollow kind of honey, thick and slow, watching all the ghosts of long ago in this bittersweet reflection of a love that's lost direction. Flicker on the wall, wait for night to fall, just the shape of what was real, learning how to feel bittersweet, bittersweet. The shadows all I keep. Oh, oh, sanctuary. The world outside is just a blur. I'm tracing circles on your palm, the only truth I've ever heard. The clock is ticking on the wall, but time is something we don't need. In the gravity of this room, you're the ground beneath my feet. No need to sign on the dotted line, no need to swear to the stars above. The weight of what we're holding now is more than enough. That's unspoken promises written in the space between our breath, heavier than ending dirts watching how they catch the light. You don't have to ask me where we go, I'm staying for the rest of the night. It's a heavy kind of gentle, a foundation made of skin and bone, building up a future here and a frequency of our own. No need to shout from a mountain peak, no need to prove what we already know. The strength is in the quiet parts where we let the feeling grow. These unspoken promises written in space between our breaths, heavier than any words. I'm gonna keep them till there's nothing left. A silent vow in the dark, a blueprint for a life we haven't built. Traded every doubt I had to find out how your spirit feels. The sunrise is a long way off, and I'm okay with staying here, wrapped in the security of knowing that the path is clear. It's the anchor in the silence, it's the comfort in the deep. A million things I'm giving you while the rest of the world's asleep. There's unspoken promises written in space between heavier than any word. I'm gonna keep until there's nothing left. A silent vow in the dark, a blueprint for the life we haven't lived. Trading every night I had to find out how your spirit feels. Just leaning on right here in the quiet, in the dark. I hear you, I promise. I promise.
The heavy lifting of the day is finally done. I'm turning off the gravity one by one. No more keeping pace or chasing down the clock. Just a gentle sway, a steady, quiet rock. I am curling every muscle, every tight knit thought, leaving behind the battles that I fought. And I'm sinking deep into the velvet blue, where the air is clear and the view is new. Letting the current carry every care away, dissolving the shadows of the working day. It's a long, slow climb through the heart of the calm, a healing ocean, a cooling balm. There's a frequency that settles in the bone, a peaceful resonance I can call my own. The friction of the world is starting to fade in this soft sanctuary the moonlight made. Our pulse is sinking, but they're tired of the dark, frying in the center, hitting the mark. And I'm sinking deep into the velvet blue, where the air is clear dissolving the shadows of the working day. It's a long, slow glide through the heart of the calm. I hear the notion of cooling breath by breath, step by step, further down into the deep. Safe and sound, lost and found before I fall asleep. Floating on the silence, resting in the glow. Floating on the silence, resting in the glow.
The ceiling dissolves into violet smoke as gravity loosens its hold on the floor. I step through the glass where the silence spoke and leave all the shadows behind at the door. The mattress is cotton, the air is a stream. Carries the weight of the day far away. I'm drifting through layers of silver and cream, where colors of midnight begin their soft play. Oh, pearl in the velvet, come close to my side. We'll sail on the tide of a translucency. Orbits of lace where the galaxy's high. You're keeping the watch over me, just a breath and a ghost of a sigh. In the cradle of the indigo sky. It craters our basins of luminous dust, where memories settle like frost on the pane. I've given my spirit for you to entrust, the secrets the sunlight could never explain. The stars are just sequins on blankets of dark, tucked under the chin of the sleeping horizon. I'm chasing the trail of a pale frozen swan, while deep in the clover the dream tide is rising. Oh, pearl and the velvet, come close to my side. We'll sail on the tide of a translucency, with orbits of lace where the galaxy's high. You're keeping a watch over me, just a breath and a ghost of a sigh. In the cradle of the indigo sky, no heavy dimension is garden of sphere. No ticking of clocks to measure the gray, just liquid suspension that swallows the year and leave me adrift in the silk of your faith. Falling upward, floating down in a sea glass crowd. Oh, pearl in the velvet, come close to my side. We'll sail on the tide of a translucency, with orbits of lace where galaxies high. You're keeping a watch over me, just a breath and a ghost of a sigh. In the cradle of the indigo sky, softly now, the pale glow lingers, dissolving into sleep, held in the palms of your silver fingers. Deep, so deep. Good night. heart dissolve its rhythmic stance and peel the day away from tired chest. No voices pulling at the edge of thought, no shadows cast by anyone but me. The battles that the morning fiercely fought are drowning in this velvet silent sea. Oh, the hollow space is breathing now, a wide and silver sanctuary room. Oh, I don't need a witness or a vow to bloom within this indigo tinted bloom. It's not a lack of sound that brings the grace, but listening through the pulse beneath the skin. I found a private, unencumbered place where the ending of the world is where I begin. The mirrors do not ask for a disguise. The walls have lost their appetite for proof. I look at life with unconflicted eyes beneath the shelter of a cooling roof. The weight of expectation drifts away like mountain mist retreating from the peak. I find the things I never dared to say when noise was loud and spirit was too weak. Oh, the hollow space is breathing out, a wide and silver sanctuary room. Oh, I don't need a witness or a vow to bloom within this indigo tinted bloom. It's not a lack of sound that brings the grace, but listening to the pulse beneath the skin. I found a private, unencumbered place where the ending of the world is where I begin. There is a mercy in the dark, a kindness in the cold, a chance to mend the jagged mark of stories being told. I am the anchor and the tide, the traveler on the road, with nothing left to seek or hide in this kingdom of my own. Sanctuary room. Oh, I don't need a witness or a vow to bloom within this indigo tinted room. It's not a lack of sound that brings the grace, but listening to the pulse beneath the skin. I found a proven, unencumbered place where the ending of the world is where I begin. Just the end. Just the breath, a peaceful sort of rain, comfort in the deep. If I betray the sleep alone and hold a quiet for my soul. The cobalt tint bleeds through the glass, scanning the puddles for a ghost to pass. My silhouette stretches across the wet concrete, a solitary orbit on a hollowed out block, taking synchronized with a digital clock. The silence is heavy, the air is cold and sweet. The towers are bleeding, shades of sapphire and heat. Just enough space for a person to think. Between the pulses of a flickering sign, I'm tracing the edge of a different design. Under the 𝐏𝐥𝐚𝐲𝐥𝐢𝐬𝐭, can canopy light, searching for gravity in the middle of the night. When the pavement turns to a liquid mirror, the questions are loud but the answers are clearer. Walking through waves of a frozen hue, lost in the shades of a deeper blue. Storefronts are dreaming behind the steel gates, the heavy momentum of a city that waits for a moment that hasn't been written yet. I'm counting my breaths in the oxygen spray, filtering out the debris of the day, paying a debt I don't wanna forget. The towers are bleeding, shades of sapphire in it. Just enough space for a person to think. Between the pulses of a flickering sign, I'm tracing the edge of a different design. Under the indigo canopy, searching for gravity in the middle of a night. Layman turns to a liquid mirror, questions are loud but the answers are clearer. Walking through waves cover frozen hue, lost in the shades of a deeper blue. No engines are revving, no sirens on here, just the sound of a velvet that wraps around the ear in the hollow of free. And nothing is fast, the present is finally catching the past. Canopy light, searching for gravity in the middle of the night. When the pavement turned to a liquid mirror, the questions are loud but the answers are clearer. Walking through waves of a frozen hue, lost in the shades of a deeper blue. Fading into the tent, a cobalt glint. The world is asleep and the water is deep. Walking alone. Drops on a dusty groove, and the air begins to shift. I wasn't looking for a ghost tonight, but the melody starts to drift. It's a minor chord and a major key that pulls the floor from under me. The scratch of vinyl, the warmth of brass, a window through the looking glass. There's a gravity in the bassline, a pull I can't ignore, bringing back the shadows dancing on the kitchen floor. One song is all it takes to find you, standing in the doorway of my mind, searching for the pieces left behind. It's a bittersweet surrender to a ghost of how we used to be, trapped inside a 4-minute memory, longing for the notes I can't rewind. Yeah. I can almost smell the rain on the coat you threw across the channel, the way the saxophone holds its breath, like you were actually there. It's a heavy kind of beautiful, a slow burning hollow in age. Funny how a simple harmony is more than a heart can take. One song is all it takes to find you, standing in the doorway of my mind, searching for the pieces left behind. It's a bittersweet surrender to the ghost of how we used to be, trapped inside a 4-minute memory, I can't rewind. They say time is a healer, that the colors start to fade, but the music is a keeper of every promise that we made. It doesn't ask for permission to bring the ceiling crashing down. It just plays until I'm lost in a sea of familiar sound. One song is all it takes to find you, standing in the doorway of my mind, searching for the pieces left behind. It's a bit of sweet sand to the ghost of how we used to be, trapped inside a 4-minute memory, longing for the notes I can't rewind. Just a haunting refrain, washing over the pain. Still longing for you when the record is through. The silence is loud since you left the crowd, slowly fading out. The cotton sheets are pulled too tight on the side where you used to sleep. The fabric holds a ghost tonight, a promise that you couldn't keep. The pillowcase still carries trace of cedar wood and Sunday rain. I shift my weight to fill the space, but only find a sharpened pain. The floorboards don't even creak, the shadows won't even move. There is everything that we, but nothing left for me to prove. There's a desert in the king-size frame, a canyon carved white and gray. I'm calling out a quiet name that drifted with the light of day. The silence has a weight so vast, it's crushing every breath I take. Looking for a love that passed in the hollow of the bed I made. I reached across at 3 a.m., forgetting for seconds grace. My fingers met the hemmed in edge, and cold instead of your embrace. The closet door is open wide, revealing gaps along the rack. The parts of me you took inside are never coming drifting back. The clock is ticking like a heart against a chest of hollow wood. I watch the morning start to part, exactly like you said it would. There's a desert
wake up in a room that's clean. I get a room that's clean. I'm tethered to these velvet stains and everything that might have been. There's a desert in the king-size frame, a canyon carving white and gray. I'm calling out a quiet name that's drifting with the light of day. The silence has a weight so that it's crushing every breath I take, crushing every breath, looking for a love that passed in the hollow of the bed I made. Just a hollow, just a cold. The scent of you is getting old, but it's all I have to hold. On the other side, on the other side.
The ink is pooling where the paper falls. A story meant for you that stays untold. I'm tracing outlines of a ghost tonight, while gravity gives way to gray and white. The stamp is dry, the envelope is thin, holding back the tide of what has been. Yeah, the gutters overflow against the curb, a hollow sound that shouldn't be disturbed. I'm reaching out the miles of heavy air to find a version of you that's still there. It's midnight rain on a rusted roof, looking for a sign, looking for the proof that every word I bury in this chest might find a way to finally come to rest. It's the weight of everything I kept inside, a slow motion wreck, a turning tide. I'm sending out a signal to the dark, waiting for the cold and distant spark. Coffee's cold and neither on the shelf. I'm tired of talking only to myself. I wonder if the storm is hitting where you sleep, or if the promises were yours to keep. I wrote your name until the nip went dark, trying to fill this vast and aching love. The clouds are hanging low and charcoal deep, a vigil that the lonely have to keep. The distance isn't measured by a map, but by the silence falling in the gap. It's midnight rain on a rusted roof, looking for a sign, looking for the proof that every word I bury in this chest might find a way to finally come to rest. It's the weight of everything I kept inside, a slow motion wreck, a turning tide. I'm sending out a signal to the dark, waiting for a cold and distant spark. Maybe it's better that you never read the frantic lines that make my spirit bleed. The honesty is sharper than the blade of every single choice that we both made. Let the water wash the script away. There's nothing left for me to try and say. Love is cold and bitter on the shelf. I'm tired of talking only to myself. It's midnight rain on a rusted roof, looking for a sign, looking for the proof that every word I bury in this chest might find a way to finally come to rest. It's the weight of everything I kept inside, a slow motion wreck, a turning tide. I'm sending out a signal to the dark, waiting for a cold and distant spark. Just a letter in a drawer, I don't need to send it anymore. Listen to the downpour on the glass, watching every moment pass. Midnight rain, midnight rain. loosening now. The knots in the velvet give way. I'm watching the shoreline diminish and bow beneath the soft pressure of gray. No struggle to keep what is meant to dissolve. No grip on the ghost of your hand. The intricate patterns and plans we resolve are sinking like salt in the sand. It is lighter than I once believed, to let the horizon go wide. The silence is finally received. There's a slow turning tide, and I am drifting away into the silver, into the pale, watching the colors of yesterday thin like a tattered silk sail. It's a peaceful descent to the floor of a sea that is perfectly still. I don't belong to the land anymore. I'm moving against my own will into the quiet, into the quiet. The scent of a garden is fading at last. The ink on the letter has dried. The heavy momentum of all that has passed has finally stepped to the side. There's a space in the center where once there was heat. A hollow that's gentle, cool. The transition to nothing, soft and complete, like ripples on top of a pool. And I am drifting away into the summer, into the pain, watching the color of yesterday. It's a peaceful descent to the floor of a sea that is perfectly still. I don't belong to the land anymore. I'm moving against my own will into the quiet. No map for this distance, no stars for the track, just a soft non-existence with no looking back. The memory blurs, the edges go still until the forgetting, and I can be drifting away into the silver, into the pain, watching the color of yesterday, then like a tattered sunset. It's a peaceful descent to the floor of a sea that is perfectly still. I don't belong to the land anymore. I'm moving against my own will into the quiet, unfolding, dissolving the quiet, disholding, moving away, fading to gray, into the open, widening away. The pendulum slows its frantic arc until the room is stripped and stark. No more mass for the morning crowd, no more shouting to feel proud. Just the weight of the cooling air and the truth that finds me there beneath the floorboards of the day. quiet reclamation, slow and steady revelation, finding home within raw bone. Peace is found when I'm alone. I used to run from what I kept inside, building walls where I could hide from the mirrors in the hallway glass, watching every season pass. But the silence doesn't judge the scars, it just opens up the roof to stars, reminding me that growth is slight, like the roots that deepen as they go. Every error is a stone in the temple I have grown. I forgive the younger ghost who needed validation most. Now the acre finds the sand in this vast and wordless land. Nothing left to prove or say as the friction melts away.